Today, I'm really excited to bring somebody who lands into each one of these. Himanshu Jain, who's with us today. He's Deputy Lieutenant of Barking and Dagenham. He's CEO of Thought Agile. He's also past District Governor for Rotary. And he also is a trustee of Bhat cricket community, which is amazing cricket community in London. And he's also multi-forum chair, and he's also president of Newham Chamber of Commerce, and many more. Hello viewers, welcome to Candid Conversations with Ganesh Kuppala. You have been hearing me speaking to a lot of global leaders, social impact leaders, service-oriented leaders, business leaders, and beyond that, politics as well. Today, I'm really excited to bring somebody who lands into each one of these. Himanshu Jain, who's with us today. He's Deputy Lieutenant of Barking and Dagenham. He's CEO of Thought Agile. He's also past District Governor for Rotary. And he also is a trustee of Bharat cricket community, which is amazing cricket community in London. And he's also multi-forum chair, and he's also president of Newham Chamber of Commerce, and many more. Before I get into all of these details, I need to take a pause, Himanshu. It's too many, right? I mean, how do you do all this, Himanshu, by the way? Before I go to any of these questions, like, what excites you to do so many things?
Thank you, first of all, Ganesh, for that introduction. I don't know. I was thinking, who is he talking about? But it's not about how to do all of these. I think it is more about grabbing the opportunity to make things better. And as the opportunities present, then we keep doing stuff. We keep on trying to make things better, not only for us, but for our communities of which we are all part. So these things have happened organically, naturally. You and I both are immigrants in this.
Yeah.
And one of the ways that I thought early on to get mixed in the community, get amalgamated in the culture, is to volunteer your time, and to get into the nitty-gritty of how things work in this. And volunteering helped me quite a lot. But also it gave me an understanding of the communities that live in place where we are. What are some of the challenges? It gives you a deeper understanding of and what are some of the opportunities at the same time of how we can make things better, how we can leave a legacy and leave things better.
How we can impact as well, right? I mean, amazing. So you rightly mentioned we are immigrants. So I do want to get started with it, because for an immigrant who just moved to below 2 decades, not even 20 years, 15 years, to do so many things, it's tremendous. So I want to understand your beginnings, Himanshu. If you can quickly throw some light on, like, where are you from? How did you start this journey? Were you always like, one of those kids who want to get into London and, explore London, something like that? Or what happened to you? Like, how did you land here?
So I belong to a city called Jaipur in India, also known as Pink City, a lovely,
beautiful city.
I grew up there. I did my schooling that city. Then went to a few other cities to do my education, came back to Jaipur. And then my work brought me to other cities in India. I've lived in Delhi, I've lived in Pune. And what brought me to London was the work. I mean, I'm not saying that the organization that I was working for brought me here, but no, I chose this myself. I brought myself to London. I had been to London a few times as part of my work, as part of my role, and I liked this. I used to work for fintech at the time, and I did consider New York. Also, London lands very close to heart, and that's where I chose to move to London.
Would have been easy pick, because culturally London may be more connected, or maybe less travel, 24 hours
Closer
for
to
United States,
closer
closer to home, 9 hours to London, probably all that stuff.
closer to home, but also was very familiar
Mm.
to me, and that was what prompted this decision.
Mm. Because a lot of people come here as students, right? I mean, because when I look at like we are about 2 million diaspora, Indian diaspora in UK right now, and predominantly 60-65% is through this route of students, right? But yeah, remaining 30-35% comes from different parts, like through ICTs, skilled workers, global mobility, various other things like innovator visas, all that stuff. And what was your route?
So my route was through there was a scheme called Tier One General.
Hmm.
So I organized my own visa. I came over here. I looked for a job, and then I got it over here. That's how I moved.
Brilliant. And when I looked at, when I was preparing for this, and I know we are friends in a way, but because today it's a different relationship, I'm a host and you're a guest. So what I wanted to see is, like, when I looked at your roles, right, range of roles, and each of them are different to each other. Like your deputy lieutenant, which is service to the country through King, and you also have wear a hat of like huge charity events and all that stuff to Rotary, and also Bharat cricket community and all. And there's also, you're in civic leadership, like you're doing a lot of other stuff, and also you're in the grassroots initiatives. You're also too many things, right? And also at the same time, what I wanted to highlight was you're also running a successful business. You're a CEO of Thought Agile. So when you look at your day, how do you segregate your day? Do you spend most of time at work and then like your day?
No, I think it is well, long answer short. I think it is mostly about making time
Mm.
to do things that are important. It will never be that, okay, well, today I will do this first, then I will do. You have to plan, and you have to see what is the priority at that.
Mm.
Uh, you talk about a range of roles, and as I said, I think most of these things happened organic. But I believe that everyone should give back, not only to the communities that they are living in, but also to the profession that they are part of, that has given us so much.
Mm.
And we should also give back to our faith or belief, whatever
Mm.
that you follow. And those are the three strands that you will find in the range of roles that you have.
Mm. Mm.
I don't have all those roles at this time.
In
It has
different
been
times.
over a
Yeah.
period. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So yes, so that it has what did. I mean, I've always been thankful to my profession
Mm.
that brought me here, that has helped me raise a wonderful family, all of that. I'm a project manager, but also a business. So project manager in institute and the chamber of other similar roles happen. Uh,
Mm.
um,
It's an obvious connect.
it's an obvious connect.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Right?
And while you choose this, right? I mean, you know that you're landing into this profession and then service and all that stuff. Did you have any early influencers who actually made this too easy for you? Like, were you looking up to somebody? Okay, I want to be like this guy. I want to be like this woman.
Well, actually, m- my uh, my influences have grown over the years.
Mm.
And I mean, it would sound very cliche, uh, but we look up to our parents, and my
Mm.
parents, my grandparents had a very um, formative sort of role as I was growing up.
Mm.
I don't talk about this, but my grandfather on my mother's side was a freedom fighter,
Wow.
and actually
Could
not.
you please take the name?
So is Dr. Rajmal Kasipal. He was visionary. He's actually, he's legendary
Mm.
because and not many people know about this. I don't talk about this.
But you should.
Uh,
Yeah.
but he was personal physician to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose in the
Oh.
Indian National Army. And then once that phase got over, he was the founder of first medical in in Jaipur, SMS Medical. That is still, he was founding principal. and he was also founding member of the Rotary Club of India. From where the Rotary roots are coming.
You met him? You
Yeah,
spent time with him?
yeah, quite a lot.
You've been lucky enough. Wow. This is super exciting.
And then my grandfather on my father's
Eternal, yeah.
was a pharmacist, but he was also to begin with he was a and then he became a pharmacist. So I was very fortunate to see those grassroots.
Wow.
I mean, uh, I, uh, I still remember very vividly that he taught how to milk a cow, and I have done that, right? So those are some of the
I think interesting,
experiences that have stayed.
amazing experiences, right? I mean, one thing I do want to dwell into, even if you, I mean, I know you don't mention this a lot, but it helps a lot to my listeners because Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose is like a godly figure to many millions of Indians. And your grandfather had an opportunity to work with him directly. So he would have shared some stories with you at some point. Do you have anything to share to the audience?
Quite a lot of stories, but one story, well, one thing that I remember is the discipline and how he built the Indian National Army from nothing, created a uh, whole whole movement. I mean, it's not just an army; it was a movement.
Yeah.
And then of course he tells me others that how he had to sit him down because for his day, because he used to be, so because he was his personal physician, so he had to do his routine checkup every day. So he was the leader of the Indian National
INA, yeah.
and everyone wanted to make sure that nothing happens to you,
Correct.
right? So those are also some of the things that, well, even if Netaji Subhash was the Netaji Subhash, but he had to sit down every day at 10 a.m. or something like that for a checkup by
Yeah.
so those are some of the stories that
What a legendary thing, right? It's fascinating, right? Because it's not I mean, I personally met Abdul Kalam ji. Okay. I mean, legend. So I had the opportunity to be with him like a couple of hours, and it is surreal. I mean, it is different. Okay, the aura, you feel differently. I mean, every small thing they do looks like unreal. Okay, and legends like this brings a lot of inspiration to all of us. And yeah, go ahead.
and actually see that is what defines a leader. And I know we are going to touch upon leadership
Yeah.
later on, but that is what leadership is. It's not about having that savior mentality. It is about stewardship, which is what Dr. Kalam had. I mean, I have a personal story. Uh, um, so this once, my father was speaking at a in Delhi, and
May I take your father's name, please?
so Dr. S.K. Jain. So he's a scientist, consulting scientist in the area of water resources and mineral resources management. Consults industry. Um, but he was speaking at a conference, and Dr. Kalam happened to be in the audience because he opened the and he listened to, and a few days later, a phone rings in my dad's office.
Wow.
That I'm calling from the president's house. The receptionist literally thought that it was a prank call and put the phone down, right? But then they called again that no, this is actually from the president's office, and he heard Dr. Jain talk about water, whatever the topic of the talk was at the time, and he wants to invite to his office, and he spent 2 hours talking to him about various things and what are the things that can be done. And again, that is a story that tells you something about that. That's mark of a leader, the humility and the concern, the thinking. Those
amazing. I think
gestures.
that actually is a great segue into my next question, Himanshu. A lot of people would have, I mean, even you teach as well, you will have a lot of students and all, but even I used to teach. So you come up with so many people talking about so many ideas. Like they come up like saying, "100, I have this. Like world is a lot of ideas, but very few gets executed. A lot of people struggle, and very few will be able to kind of crack that real world complexity and converting an idea into a project or execution or whatever it is. So, what do you think is this journey of turning a theory into real outcomes, and what are the key things that
Yes.
anybody should have?
See, what I have realized in the work that we've done so far is problems will always be complex,
Mm,
and theory can only take you so far.
mm,
The solutions of the problem or solutions of the issues
mm,
that come up with have to be grounded uh, in the community.
mm,
They need to be community led.
mm.
Uh, and we talk about design or human centered design, right? Which starts with empathy.
Yeah,
And
purpose
that
driven.
is purpose driven.
Yeah.
Empathy. It starts with empathy. You have to understand who are you solving problems for,
Mm,
right? And have they been involved in that decision? Are we asking the right question
mm,
before jumping on to the solutions? We have to validate that. Are we asking the right? Is this going to create an impact? Is this going to make a difference in the lives of those who we are trying to serve?
mm,
That has to be. I mean, theory can only take you so far. Solutions have to come from community, and that is true for anything really
mm.
in 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 life.
Yeah, that is true. So true. So, out of curiosity, I'm asking, like, do you, because you do different things, do you actually structure things, or it's more like, it happens when the problem hits your door, or is it more like you have a planned structure for everything?
Hmm.
Because the reason I'm asking, probably I'll talk about this more in detail into, your project management journey and all, but you're such a avid project management coach. You go and teach project management and all. Does it come to your life? I mean, you think about your life also similar way?
Well, so again, the project management is not just about
Mm,
right. It is also about uh, creating an understanding of what is it that we are trying to do.
mm,
Project. How are we doing it? I remember this a poem by Rudyard Kipling,
mm,
and in that I think the poem is called Elephant.
mm,
But the line is that I have six serving men:
mm.
the what, the when, the where, the how, the who, and the why. And that is the crux of project.
Yeah.
But also, I believe that project management is a life skill,
Mm,
right? I mean, simple things. I am sure we will have done projects that are personal, whether
mm.
it is planning
Holiday.
holiday,
Mm,
or is it planning uh, uh, your next career move.
mm.
All of these things are personal, and
Yeah.
and we do that every day
Mm,
in a uh, professional context. That becomes slightly more structured, but that doesn't mean that the human element, people have to be central to whatever
mm.
we do.
But if you have to, just for the benefit of audience, Himanshu, I do want to get into detail of this because you do this coaching to the leaders and all that stuff on the project management, agile thinking, design thinking. We talk about all these fancy names, right? If you have to bring in a simple terms, like for example, if somebody is planning a holiday,
Hmm?
right? How do you structure it? I mean, if you can bring that into that layer of like, do this, do this, do this, and what is it called?
Yes.
Could you please explain me?
Okay, so I think we are now getting into a conversation around principle based
Correct.
work.
Yeah.
And I think anything that we do in life, there are a few things that might get us started.
Mm,
One, uh, we have always to keep in mind what is it that we are trying to achieve,
mm.
not
End
the
goal.
project, not the project,
Mm,
but what is the impact that we're
mm,
trying to create? What is the objective?
mm,
That has to be the first thing in our mind.
mm,
Stephen Covey said, begin with the end in mind.
Correct. 7 principles of
highly effective.
highly effective people. Yeah.
So he said, begin with the end in mind. So that has to be the first. And I want to talk about this a little bit more, but maybe.
Yeah. Please do. Please do.
The second thing that we have is to learn from it. And it doesn't have to be your own, right? Maybe it is an experience you might have. We are talking about planning a holiday. You might have done a holiday previously, or, but learn from experience of everyone who you can draw an learning through it. I think it's in. And then the third thing, I mean, we can go on about it, but the third thing, and I think those are the three keys, is to have a clarity of the roles, the responsibilities, and the relationship. Yes.
They see in a different way.
Yes, clarity of that. It's very important. Whether you are doing a personal
project,
or you are doing a project in a, there can be now other things added. But if those three things are there, then you have set a really good foundation. And then we can build up. Then you can do other things. Then you can think about, okay, well, how do I how do I let people make better decisions? How do I motivate them? How do I influence them? So that all can come. But these three things that we talked about the now, and you also mentioned, why do projects or why do initiatives?
Correct. Ideas fail. Yeah.
Why do ideas?
Correct.
So a lot of projects, I don't want to say that I want to say that a lot of projects don't create the impact that was hoped at the beginning, is because people focus on the output of the. Now, output is not the only thing. So a project will create an output. So let's say we want to create a clean water supply in a village. The project will create that infrastructure that will deliver clean water. But then what also needs to happen is the adoption, the embedding, change management. That's the second step, right? If people don't know about it, if people are not
prepared enough,
if people are not enabled to accept that output into their life, if behaviors don't change, then the infrastructure cannot do anything. The behaviors have to. Only through the changed behavior, we will be able to create the impact, which is why we started the project. You can do a project fantastically well. Yeah, you can apply all the project management principles, and you can do the project on time and within the budget and the scope and risk and all of that. But if it fails to create the impact, there is no, I mean, then it is not a good.
True. So true. I think you very well brought this up, Himanshu, because I also see at the workplace, and all of us would have done a number of projects through our careers. And what happens is, like, a lot of these large scale projects wouldn't be able to understand what's happening across them. I was, the beginning of this conversation, I was talking to Himanshu, like, various things, and the story of Nokia.
Yes.
Story of BlackBerry. Once they were the names the world was shouting for, right? But all of a sudden you forget about Nokia. All of a sudden you forget about BlackBerry. It's because they were not able to understand and embrace the change happening across them. Do you want to throw some light on that?
Yes, I am reminded of a book. It was a book written by Spencer Johnson, called "Who Moved My Cheese?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what Nokia and BlackBerry and Xerox and those companies felt. That, who moved my cheese? What happened suddenly, right? I mean, it was there, and we were
enjoying it.
Yeah. Who moved that cheese? And this comes back to that you have to be grounded in the people you are serving, the market. In the case of these, it will be and market was changing. Kodak. is a classic example.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Market was changing, and these organizations did not take heed of that. And this is true in any community project that we do, or any project that we do. I mean, if periodically we are not taking a pause and looking at that, are we still on track to create the impact? Yeah? Are we still on track to create? How have we done? Are we tracking well to the plan that we had? Those simple checks periodically done can make sure that yes, we will create the impact, we will deliver the benefit.
So true. So true. It reminds me of one example. Okay. I was watching Dragon's Den the other day. I think it was Deborah who was mentioning that to the pitcher that you're in so much love of your innovation or your product, but you're not understanding what is happening across. If somebody like, we always have, I mean, my mentor used to crack this joke. You can't kind of go and open a ice cream store in Iceland, or you can't do amazing saloon in Punjab. Like they were like, these are jokes, but it makes so much relatability, right? Because this picture was talking about their product, but which is already adopted and gone away with the evolution of AI, or evolution of like a lot of see, you can't do a kind of translation theory only today. You type in English, it will give you Spanish. I have an app. You don't need an app today. There was something like this. Somebody was coming and pitching about things that is like little old. But this guy spent a lot of time doing it. He's in love. He has so much passion about the project, but unfortunately, it doesn't fit in.
Yes.
So, how do you see that? How letting go things
Yes.
is extremely important, right?
Absolutely.
And what is your reflection on that?
I want to come back to what we said.
Yeah.
The winds of change.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we become too attached to the, and it's not just about the project, the initiative, right?
Yeah.
It's also about other things in life. If you become too attached to, let's say, to a position, especially in voluntary work that we do, people get attached to those positions, and then wrong decisions
are made.
Yes. So I think a logical pause is always help. Is this the right thing to do? And of course, people have to be good um, in thinking that, okay, well, what is the impact that we want to create? Leadership is a transition, and mostly in voluntary sector, leadership is what should stay
is the impact. So true.
Right? The success will be defined by the change that you have brought to the life, rather than how long were you in the position and what beautiful things you did while you were in the. Because if those beautiful things don't sustain after you have left,
then no point. And I do remember, like, I mean, Himanshu and I are part of the Rotary organization. I want to bring that example here, Himanshu. You have been in a lot of leadership positions in Rotary, and you are the latest past district governor for Rotary London district. Do you want to share any story from there? Like, when you talk about impact, right? I mean, we talk about the size and all that stuff, but I do remember that international presidential speech. I don't remember the name right now, but she was talking about what happened in one of these countries where the war was happening. She went on and served one family. Then they came back and talked about all like water thing. She was talking about clean water. I was able to. So, do you want to share any of that stuff in your life? How things would have impacted and changed?
from a Rotary point of view.
Yeah.
Well, see, Rotary is a huge organization, and it's a great organization. It enables, it empowers people like us to follow their passions and create change, and change that lasts. And we change not only our community but ourselves also through that. So there is a lot of potential. But Rotary in London, and actually Rotary in Great Britain and Ireland is going through a transition right now, where people are rediscovering that, well, what is Rotary's role really? Because there are, I mean, UK has such a great culture of giving back.
Mm.
Everyone wants to
Give back.
to volunteer their time to something in their community. So, and also on top of that, just in London, there are about 40,000,
Mhm.
over 40,000 third sector entities
Mhm.
like the Rotary, like the Bharat. There are in London only, in Great. So that made me think: uh, are we now in with these other people, or is our role now to enable,
And collaborate.
enabler to partner with them
Mm.
to collaborate?
Yeah.
And that's where the work that we are doing at the Rotary Club of Stratford, that we always create partners.
Mm.
And the best example, as you know, and I'm sure you are going to talk about it in a minute, let me bring it up, is the East London Community Heroes Award,
Correct.
right? Where we are looking for the invisible leadership in our that is not seen. Uh, People don't get recognized for the amazing work, but there is power in recognition.
Mm.
It gives people confidence. It brings awareness. It creates.
And it also creates that validation for the work that has been done. Because thank you so much for bringing that. Okay, I'm sorry to break your flow, but I've been part of Rotary for the last 4 years now, and I've seen the East London Community Heroes Awards, and now we are spreading it to be called as London Community Heroes Awards. Guys, if you have not checked what is East London Community Heroes Awards or London Community Heroes Awards, please do go and read about it. Some of the stories, yeah, check our website and see that. I mean, once you Google East London Community Heroes Awards, you will find us. But what I want to highlight there, Himanshu, is like some of those stories. Like, I've met this woman who cooks meals every day from her own kitchen to feed hundreds now, and which is great story, right? I mean, how people can make impact, and recognizing such people in East London Community Heroes Awards, then making them even more bigger is actually a bigger purpose. I think that's amazing, purposely led thing.
Yes, and actually, uh, the key thing over here is that we have not stopped just by giving them a trophy.
Yeah.
I think we the power of this thing is that we have taken that forward.
Mm.
I'll give you a few examples, right? So there was this lady, uh, and during COVID, through our awards, I got to know her. Her name was Lorraine.
Mm.
Fortunately,
Sorry.
but she uh, on her own, on her own, she created a group of volunteers, and she used to serve over 200 homeless people every
Mm.
week. Not through food, but
Mm.
through other things that they might,
Mm.
some clothes, some daily use things, even food.
Mm.
And someone nominated her awards, and obviously, because of the work that she was doing.
Mm.
But then after that, we remained in touch with them, and I asked, "You're doing such amazing work. Why are you not applying for?"
Mm.
And she said that, well, how do we apply for? She didn't know, so we helped her that, and then we found out that, well, they are not. They were just a community group. They were not set up as a charity.
Mm.
So we helped them set up a charity. So we're taking the partnership, right? Not just uh, stopping after giving them a recognition, but actually finding out the most impactful work that is happening in East London area and how we can help as an enabler, as an empowerer of. And from there, I think uh, the theme that we have now of inspiring, enabling, and driving change.
Mm.
That is where uh,
Sure.
the theme came from.
Amazing.
Let's inspire more to do. Let's enable them by giving them the tools, uh, the opportunities that they need, and then drive change.
Yeah.
And uh, if you were a, I think you were there at the driving change
Mm.
that organized, and the stories that you
Amazing.
the and and that makes you take a pause. Like, well, there is so much work happening in East London. Do we really need to reinvent the wheel, or can we
Just
enable?
work with them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
partner with them, collaborate.
So true. So true. That actually lands me to your next topic, Himanshu, of your other role, which is basically being academia, working with the universities. You were with University of East London for some time. We went there. We did few events in University of East London. Now you work with University of Westminster. The reason I want to bring this up is because in any conversation that I do on this table with the guests, I always ask them like, how is the future looking? What's the next generation looking at? How are you going to impact? Because all that work that we are doing, everyone talks about AI, things are changing, and all that stuff. I want your answer into two specific points. Okay, how positive or comfortable or confident are you thinking about next 1 decade in terms of value system, all that stuff? How are the kids doing? Because you experience their energy every day. Number two, you can the technology and the purpose. Is that driving in the right? What's your view on these two?
Well, just before we do that, just a small correction.
Yeah.
I was associated with the Westminster Business School. I'm still there. I am a fellow at University of East, and I'm still
Okay, you're still there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
just a small correction.
Yeah. No, no.
But yes, what is the future? I think things we are. This is a huge, you know, are happening. No one has. So it's almost like calling it sixth industrial revolution that is happening right now with the advent of new tech. Yeah, but other
Quantum, machine learning, too many things.
absolutely,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. So I think well, the first thing that we need to uh, is not to be afraid of. In fact, what we need to do is, and we need to promote, is to embrace
Embrace the technology. Yeah.
I get reminded of early 90s when we were and everyone was so scared that computerization is happening and we are going to lose
Jobs.
all of that. But no one lost job. Well, yes, people lost job, but those were the people who did not embrace. In fact, that whole industrial revolution of computerization created so many new jobs, and it improved the way businesses work. It improved people's lives and all of that. Is the same thing that is going. People need to be curious, and at the back, because what the other question that was, well, okay, what is? I think if we keep ethics and responsibility and stewardship at the back of, then I think let us stay curious. Let us see what is possible, and let's embrace that, and let's create a better future. We need to be the human behind the tech, rather than technology pushing us in all different directions. Let's be the human behind the tech. Let us promote this talk. Let's stay curious. Let's see what is going to happen. What is possible. What new things might take place, but keep ethics,
Value system,
responsibility, and stewardship. These three things.
That's brilliant. And you are also parent as well. We are in 40s and we do speak to our colleagues, friends, and you will hear different kind of voices every time, right? Arey, bachcha to bada ho raha hai. Kya kar raha hai? Like, all that stuff, right? You hear about my kid is growing, what should we do? And all this stuff. Like, it's a lot in the South Asian community because we come from this background of parental, authoritative parental systems and all that stuff, which is a bit different from what the world is right now. So for you, you've been lucky because you have a student at home who's going to uni, who's your daughter, but you're also academia who goes to universities and teach kids. When you see this too, as a parent, do you struggle at all, like Indian parent kind of system, or I want you to be very honest about this stuff. Yeah.
I'll be very honest, right? When and let me start with the parent.
Yeah.
I think I always used to be amazed hearing the stories that, oh, Bill Gates has not allowed his kids mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Steve Jobs has not. And then people used to give these again. I think, and because we are coming from an Indian background, I think it is more important to teach responsibility rather than restraint. If we impose restraints on kids, they'll find ways. They will
It's
find
much smarter than us.
to work around, or at the point they get that freedom, yeah, when the restraints won't work, yeah, how are they going to behave with? So I've always been a believer of teaching response rather than uh, anyone really, not only kids. And this is true for communities also. I mean, it's we hear all these stories. Something has happened, and now the cause, supposed cause, has been banned. Yeah, I mean, how long can people will find loopholes, right? Restraint never works. So I think that's one thing that I have, and of course, one can be right all the time. It has felt wrong at times. You will you will curse yourself, that- and it will feel, it will feel that, well, no, let's just stop all this. The right thing to do is to stay with it. uh, Change happens when you stick long enough with it. So
The parenting.
that's on the parent. Now, again, at the university, when I work work with, it is I think my mindset changes a little. My mindset with them is that, well, no, I want to become, and I want to learn with, because there are so many things that, yes, I can do a lecture, and I, but how do we explore perspective, context? Because for me, for example, we were talking about project management, and we were saying that, well, project management, I always remember those lines from Rudyard Kipling. But other people have different, and theory might remain the same. What changes is the context, the perspectives, and the interpretation. So those are the things that I try to learn from them, and I'm very sort of amenable. I mean, I don't mind being wrong.
Yeah.
Also,
That makes a lot of sense. And you're also wearing this hat of deputy lieutenant and all that stuff in the civic leadership, right? So you might be in the conversations in the policy making, because you remember we were in some of the UN mock sessions in University of East London and all that stuff. So whenever this stuff happens, so the very commonly asked questions in the society is safety, barriers, all this stuff, the kind of cyber attacks, all that, too many things, right? We live in, you're DL for Barking and Dagenham, and you would have heard stories of various things, like, teenagers doing certain things. Does that worry you, Himanshu? Do you really get scared? Like, I at times, though I'm also publicly extremely exposed, like yourself. So I do come out and see a lot of stories. While I do tell them in that seat that, no, this can be possible, can be changed and all. When I sit back in the Uber, going back to home, a 10 minutes drive, I do suffer. I'm being very honest. Thinking about, okay, 14-year boy went onto the streets, knife crime, all this stuff. It gets struck with me. When I saw the adolescents, I was worried. I was worried. I know it is not practical. So I just want to understand your point of view from that as well, because you wear different hats. Yes, we do answer people sometimes. You just said how to see and all. But would there be any moment when you're alone or thinking about things you would think about it?
well, I mean, if I said that I don't, then I would be lying. I mean, these things affect all of us, and I think I think these should call for reflection.
So true.
These things should call for reflection, uh, and not only reflection on uh, how things are,
Yeah.
but a reflection on how we are
Ecosystem.
What
Total ecosystem.
what is it that we are doing to shape
So true.
our community.
Mm.
I think that grounds me a little bit. That brings me back. But one thing is that I am generally an optimist, right? And one, because we are talking about, which means that the issue has been recognized, and something will be done about it. And of course, we will be a part of the solution in whatever small way we. But I think recognizing the issue, I think, is the first. If we were to say no, there is
No such thing.
no such thing,
Yeah.
that would be a problem. That would be a big problem.
True.
But at least we recognize the issue. We are doing things. These, I mean, societal changes take.
But do you, as a DL, do you get a chance to kind of work with Met Police or local areas to work on awareness sessions? Because I mean, we have possibility, right? We have the platforms like Rotary, or you have platforms like various other things. What do you do? I mean, do you do any action
So
at space?
through the DL role,
Yeah.
but through other things that we do, we get to, especially I'm not doing the faith forum chair, but through that we did quite a lot of liaison work with police to understand, to enable faith group to get awareness about issues. See, knife crime is not a nice. Knife crime comes along with the evil cousin, which is drug abuse.
Yeah. Or domestic violence.
And domestic violence.
Yeah.
And domestic violence not only for the person, but someone who's witnessing it.
Correct. At home.
Especially the young.
True. So true.
And
just to give you, I was with Camry, Red Bridge leader, and similar show we were doing in the same studio, and he mentioned to me, surprisingly, the when we talk about safety, crime, and all that stuff in the borough, you would be surprised that the biggest crime in the borough is domestic abuse, which we don't. We very. I mean, when I say we, the society largely talks about what happens outside there. Like you had one incident and one station, somebody came up and knocked the door, somebody did burglary, and yes, all those are real issues. I'm not saying that, but the bigger issue, the bigger issue, the leader was saying that the bigger issue for me is actually domestic abuse. Every day I get this many number of domestic abuse cases. The reason I'm bringing that up, Himanshu, is like in your roles, is there any possibility that we can create more awareness on that? Can you pick up this as a project, or can you think about it?
Absolutely. See, again, intentions is where projects start, right? So if now we are saying that, well, there is a, well, let me take a step back here, right? And if you remember, all last year I was talking about a couple of things that we can do easily, which is, well, how can we tackle homelessness? I mean, if you, again, I'm not saying that we will be able to do everything. I'm not claiming, but whatever we can do in a small way. The numbers about homelessness.
Yeah.
This is 2023 figure that there are 182,000 homeless people in London.
Wow.
East
It must
London,
be definitely grown now.
East, absolutely.
Yeah.
East London has the biggest chunk of. Now, but then what most people are doing right now is either doing some soup kitchens, food banks. But that is solving the problem. What will solve the problem is people coming together, speaking to people with lived experience on what can be done. I'll give you an example. A couple of days ago, I was coming out of the university I saw a young man sitting right opposite, probably 25, 26. right? And had this sign that I'm hungry. Then couldn't help myself, but I went to him. Why are you here? What has happened? Obviously, he said that, well, I don't have my paper. He was able to speak very little English. And
Migrant. Yeah.
and then I tried. So one of our Rotarian friend, his son runs a hospital via Salvation Army. And I tried desperately to that, well, there is this young man, 25, 26, probably around that, and he's in the rain and all of that. And while I was making the call, he got so scared that he picked up everything and went
away. Yeah.
because he thought that I'm calling
Police or
so the problem is more problem is more systemic, and we need to create those structures where we can actually not only do the immediate thing, which might be giving out sleep bags or providing hot food. I think there needs to be longer term solutions to these issues, like from their mental health, because some of these people are so, especially with domestic abuse,
True.
people are so scared that they are afraid to go to the gym by themselves because they are. So we need
That's
to
true.
create those structures.
Absolutely. And now going back to, I think we spend a lot of time on community, which is amazing, which is topic of the hour, and we need to speak about it for sure. But now I want to slightly kind of change the gears here and talk about the leadership specifically, right? Because you mentioned, like, we would love to talk about this as well. I've heard this a lot of times at workplaces. Some of the leaders do come and say that here is the problem. Okay, I want you to think from that eyes as well. Here is the problem, and we tried everything. That's what they say. We tried everything. It won't happen. Like, there could be a firing decision, or there could be various things, right? Or they talk about frameworks and all that stuff. What does matter the most for any leader at the professional place? Let's talk about that. Then come to the community later. As a leader, you are a CEO of Thought Agile as well. So how is your view of leadership? Whenever a problem hits your door, how do you look at it? Do you frame it into a certain buckets, or do you look at whatever? Yeah, please.
Yeah. So I think the first thing that I would do if there's a problem is to slow down a little. Yes. Jumping to solve a problem without understanding it is what gives rise to wrong solution.
Yeah.
So I think that's a point to slow down a little bit to understand what is it that that is. And then, of course, yes, the right thing is to involve people around you, right? To hear their of how can we work around this, rather than giving people tasks. Do that. Okay, well, here is a problem. Here is what I think we should do. Rather than giving people, we should give them problems to solve. And then we will see the most amazing solutions, the most amazing designs from those people. Because again, see, there are two. You give people intent, the right intent, they will give you the same back, the right intent. You give people organizational clarity. These are concepts I'm picking up from. There is a book called On Your Ship.
Okay.
It was written by Captain David Mark, and how he turned the ship
with that 1 degree change, right? They talk about always,
through bringing lean and agile thinking on a nuclear submarine.
Yeah.
Right. Basically, how decision making should be, and we were talking about letting go.
Yeah.
When do you let go?
When do you let go? That's extremely important.
So the decision making should lie where the information exists. If the information is on the ground and you
on 30,000 feet,
yes, are trying to look and play puppeteer.
And that's a very persistent problem. I think kudos to you, Himanshu. You're bringing right very, very exact view of it, because a lot of the times this happens. People sitting at the decision making chairs. I think that's one of the topics I wanted to talk to you, and that's the reason we are talking this. The decision makers are sitting at the 30,000 feet, and the actual groundwork is happening somewhere else. There's a disconnect. And how do you, as a CEO of an organization, look at this? How do you bridge the gap?
That's exactly. Decision making should be devolved. Decision making, you give people the right intent, you empower people. And again, I'm not saying that yes, you empower people and then it's a free for all. I'm not. Well, everyone in the organization should be made aware of the constraints, the assumptions under which we are working, and they should be a part of it. They should feel that. So why should the managers and the senior management, the board of directors, only feel those?
Yeah.
Share. We should be able to share those things. And uh, and I know now we are kind of getting into a whole different thing, but keeping it simple, decision making should be evolved. It should decisions should come from places where information exists.
Makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Will people make mistakes?
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you should be able to provide that psychological safety. Yes, let's make mistakes, but within the parameters, let's not lose focus of what we are trying to achieve. Right? You give people right intent, they will give back.
Same. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the last topic, I think I covered most of the topics that I wanted to discuss with you, but the one thing I cannot let go is the Bharat cricket community and your service. I always had this question, right? I mean, I know I'm active part of it as well, but people do ask me, when you have so many clubs out there, why do you need something like Bharat cricket community?
Right.
What's your response?
I think thank you for bringing that up. I know that Bharat cricket community is close to both of our hearts.
Yeah, yeah.
And so why do we need Bharat cricket? Well, I think the difference between Bharat cricket community and any other cricket is that we are not a yeah, we have built a community. I think that's the difference, and that is the power of what we are trying to do. It is a community. It's a support system, right? Not only for people who are here, new people. See, sport is such a neutral unifier. Yeah, and cricket. Any Indian who doesn't love cricket probably. I don't want to say.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But sport is such a neutral uniform.
Brings people together.
It brings people together seamlessly.
Yeah.
Right. People will forget about the culture, the customs, the costumes, the cuisines, and everything else.
Religion. Religion. Yeah.
It will seamlessly bring people together, and people will want to spend time together. We'll spend every weekend playing cricket, and then afterwards, I hear now our
socials.
We are doing socials. People are now picking up other sports, and there's only one way where we can go, is up. Yes, we have created some impact right now in East London, Southwest London, maybe in east of Anglia a little bit. But there is so much that can be done.
Yeah.
There is such a vibrant Indian diaspora, loves cricket. So, and people like us who are in their 30s, 40s, they get to live their childhood every Saturday, right? Yeah. People I was hearing stories. Someone was telling me that, this was the first time I went to a sports shop and I bought a cricket kit for myself, something that I could not do when I was a right. And I spent so much money, and they were so excited. That excitement should mean something.
True. So true.
And now we have involved women, our children, and we are building partnerships with Essex Cricket, with other.
Correct.
So I think there is a lot of things happening. What we and other leaders of Bharat Cricket need to do is, again, to take a pause, create a vision, and
but land it more bigger, much better. But yeah, we are proud of where we are.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure we are going to do much more. with that, I think I'm landing into the last section of the conversation. That is, I know you don't like me to say eclodes and all, but I do want to say about this. Your Point of Light Award from the Prime Minister's office, and about your coronation presence. I want to hear from you about your experience. Like, when you heard about this, is it like, does it give you kind of, um, kind of satisfaction that, whatever I have done is validated right now? Or is it more like, it comes to you as a bigger responsibility? Now I need to be more careful.
I think it's both, right?
Okay.
It's both. I mean, yes, it feels good to be recognized, absolutely. But then I think it is a validation of the work that we are doing. So I would say that these coronation champions or the flight board or any other, these actually belong. I was enabled by communities that were serving to be able to receive awards. Of course, uh, there is bigger responsibility now. Make sure that the award was given to the right person and for the right reason. So right. But that's a way of saying it. However, I think these awards also enable us to, to have the confidence of building bigger plans, right? Making a bigger impact, creating a last.
And one last thing, Himanshu, I think we'll close with this. But you talk about sustainability in a lot of spaces. I've heard you talking about sustainability, it's policy making, making sure long term thinking to be part of your thought process, right? How do you reflect on, like, what should people think about talking about sustainable growth or sustainable, futures? And what's your view on that?
So I think uh, uh, I realize that we are probably out of time, but I want to say a few things. Sustainability needs to be thought of as a long-term thing. It should not just be thought of as, oh, sustainability of, right? That is, yes, planet is part of it, but there are other two strands to sustainability. The other two strands are people who we are serving and prosperity, right? Yes, planet. We have to leave the planet in a better shape for future generations.
Yeah.
But we have to develop the human, right? And we have to make sure that people become so sustainability, and especially the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are quite close to my heart. And I think this should be a way of thinking. What was the second part of the question?
Long term thinking, like, when you bring the sustainability into your long term thinking, what should be the model? Like, your growth should be mapped to sustainability. Is
Absolutely, yes. And again, we have to keep these three things in mind: people, planet, and I think those should be the way how we think about anything. Create sustainable projects. If we have to create sustainable project, it's not just about the project itself, but how you are involved
ways
with
of
the
working.
community,
Correct.
your ways of working, involve the community. Projects should be community led. Doesn't mean that then they are left alone, but because they are community led, people will develop, people will learn, right? People will take ownership, and people will become.
So true. I think that's a very, very good sound note to end. Thank you so much for a deeply thought provoking conversation, Himanshu. We speak a lot, but sitting in front of the audience and speaking about this, we touched upon a lot of things today. I think it'll benefit a lot of our audience. But yeah, we will keep the conversation up. And thank you so much for whatever you're doing for East London. But I'm definitely rooting for East London Community Heroes Awards that are coming up soon. It's in July this time. And yeah, watch out, guys. East London Community Heroes Awards, July 2026. And I'm definitely watching out for what Bharat cricket community does more. And I'm definitely looking forward to what you're going to do in the different areas of work that you still do, continue to do. And all the best for your fellowship.
Yes.
And
But can I say something though?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. I think this has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Uh, and thank you for all the good wishes and everything.
Yeah.
One thing that I want you to think is how we can work and make future of young people.
Yeah.
One of the things that you have been talking about, and I'm going to hold you accountable,
Yeah, for sure.
is mentoring.
Yeah.
Let's do something about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's create a mentoring program through Bharat or through Rotary,
Rotary. Yeah.
or maybe a combination of.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let's do something about it, and let's have that as a promise that next time we speak,
It is a promise.
yeah, we will
All right.
do something. Yes,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching this. Do keep watching us. We will bring more such amazing conversations. Until I see you next time, thank you so much. Bye bye.